Hey there, my fellow starving colonists, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, Episode 23, Paste of Ice and Rice. I think, as a result of the winter months, I'm gonna set up everything that would normally be work zones, or work time, to be any time. Because they physically cannot work. And having them take mood penalties for standing around twiddling their thumbs is pointless. So I'll allow them to recreate during potential work time because there's nothing else to be done. There isn't work to be done. Alright, we have no meals, but I want to wait for the rice to get closer to 100%. The growth rate of the rice is dropping due to temperature modifiers, though, so I might need to turn on another heater. Which is even more stress on our already stressed power grid. Also, I'm going to uninstall the deep drill. Because once we find buried wood, I'm going to want to set up the deep drill where the wood is, and I'm going to do the same for the heater. So I'll have Axios make quick runs out here to get that done. Because he's the fastest. Will suffer the least. Alright, so we're guaranteed find almost 90%. Man, my luck trying to find stuff has been really terrible. In a real pinch, what I could do is start replacing the steel doors, or the wood doors with steel doors, because we have all this slag that could be turned into steel, and using the wood to buffer our ground pen scanning and growing a bit more. And I'm almost getting to the point where that might be reasonable. I was hoping not to, but I very soon will be given no choice, I think. Start burning our furniture for fuel. What I'll do is I'll wait for the next guaranteed find, and if we don't find it, 5 doors will be replaced, and the wood of those doors will be used to try to keep the ground scanner on and grow light on more. Now you should be restricted. At least it's a big old party time. There's not much else to do. Axios. You just want to sleep at noon. I'm going to replace his sleep with work. Get him to harvest. So we're all going to be starving. Oh, no! He had a crisis of belief, and he went from 33% up to 50%. I explained this before, but essentially, when they have a mental break as a prisoner, due to being malnourished in this case, they convert to a random ideology. So, if they have greater than 50%, significantly greater than 50% belief in their ideology, it might make sense to try to force them to have that kind of catharsis. But most of the time it's negative. In this case it was negative because he went from like 28% or something back up to 100%. Or 50% of a different ideology. Which is a shame! Come on, keep harvesting. Sappers. Oh, crap. Oh, the They're going to be really easy to defeat. They have an LMG, and like everything else is a throwable. Except for some incendiary smoke launchers. Very odd. So I'm making sure that everybody eats. And I guess I'll keep the power off. Because the grow tables don't do anything right now. And I'm going to run out to meet them. Because all we really have to do is avoid grenades and the one dude with a LMG. So taking a look at hypothermia. No one has hypothermia at the moment. That's good. It's too bad combat command's not off cooldown. I have 19 hours left on it. So we can essentially fully ignore the EMP grenadiers, like, they're gonna do nothing to us. So those that are most movement impeded, I'm having stick closest to the walls, like Cardinal and Pierogadog, because they're at risk of being overrun. Oh, that Grenadier's thrown on our walls, though. That needs to stop. So you're smoking. That's fine. And that Grenadier's dead. So in terms of frag grenades, they're out. Now there's only some with Molotovs. They did blast apart the wall, but not a big deal. So now the priority is to take out the Molotovers. Oh, good. Good job, you moron. And the Molotovs... Oh, he's dead. Molotovs have pretty short range, so I'm not too worried about that. Fishpick is waiting here to repair walls, because they're going to physically sap. So at this point, we just want to kill them to make them flee. While Fishpick waits if they breach. Alright, they're fleeing. Not... I mean, I got shot, what, like, once? I would say against overwhelming numbers, that's, like, not a big deal. Barbara! Man, you got big eyes. You are going to be sacrificed to Axios, the god of combat. Once he kills Roberts. And then, Fishpick, you can rebuild a Deadfall. Oh, there's Grump out here. Ooh, Grump, you got a lot of food. Get over here. Does anyone else have food? You have a map. I don't really care about maps. Yeah, let's go get Grump's food. Is that within Axios' zone? It just is! Just barely. And he's not currently hypothermic, so... Cool. That helps a lot. Oh, I didn't mean for this to be on. Oh, nice. You got another kill. Fine by me. Splat. Yeah, I could utilize the traps more often when we have the materials to replace them. And I intend to. It's just, sappers aren't gonna give two hoots about that. They're gonna go whatever the hell way they want to go. So, normally I would, but, you know, sappers are a bit different. Zeusin, are you up for a while? No. Okay. And Axios went to sleep. Okay. Yeah, they did go straight for this. I mean, sappers just attack towards your beds, and they go through any walls that you have. So they don't really care if there's traps. They're pretty dumb, and they get themselves killed that way. Much to my benefit. Ooh, close zone. Should I screwed up? Not include this or that. Or anything in here. When I repainted, I painted over what should have been. Where are you taking them? Wait, what? Okay, that's not my fault. That's just them ignoring zoning. He's already seen corpses. It's a bit late for that. I think it was already queued up. But yeah, he's not allowed to stand there, so that's a wee bit of a head scratcher. Okay, grow light should not be on. We're literally not growing anything. But Axios is awake, so he should start re-sowing. And then once it's all sown, I'll turn the grow light on. Hey, medicine 6. Nice. I saw that flash up. Too bad I can't. Oh, I can work drive? I'm going to. That should not have worked, though. They're of different ideologies, but they're married, so I'll allow it. So she's work-driven, and that will help for user scan speed. And I am going to take the initiative to start fueling the furnace with the wood from our doors. I'm going to keep the outside door wood for now, but the inside door will turn to steel. So we have 17 hours of power. I think we loaded up all the fuel. And the other thing I wanted to do is to have a dedicated shelf for wood here. And that will allow me to keep an eye on our wood quantity more easily. Fish pick. You are going to be... So close zone will include this. Because we're idle and because I have excess power, it makes sense to allow someone to do mining while I have the power to run the deep drill. And Zayla, thank you for the resub. Alright. Now that that's on, flick the switch. And fish pick is deep drilling for coal. Which again is a reagent to make steel. We need coal and iron to make steel. Alright, Zeusin, you are idle. Go scan. And she is 3% away from a guaranteed find. I said I would wait until the guaranteed find to see if it was wood to do this, but I was tired of running out of power, so I just decided. And also, while my batteries are topped up maxed, I'm going to have Dame Cardinal here use the smelter bit. Plasteel again. Are you kidding me? All the more reason to keep her at it. Alright, Cardinal, I guess you can sleep. Someone else will take over for you. And honestly, anyone can scan when Zeusin's asleep. We have the power to run it during the day. So whoever wants to hop on, I don't really care. Alright, we did just run out of power. So I'm going to be a little bit more cognizant of our power. Oh, no, don't do that. Glad I caught that. That's Ray's handgun. In fact, actually, Ray's a brawler. So you know what? I'm never going to have Ray use that. Haul that out to the pond. It's biocoded to Ray, but as a brawler, using a handgun will piss Ray off. So, like, why would I do that? I'm going to try to get one chunk of steel, or coal rather, and then turn the drill off to conserve power. I just at least wanted to finish one portion. So, it can be used for fuel for generators, not my kind of generators. That would be like coal generators, stoves, torches, campfires. I could, if I had... So here's what's weird. You can't build a campfire with coal. But if I had a campfire, I could fuel it with coal. So there's a possibility of reducing our power usage. If I had some seed wood by making a campfire and making it use coal, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to break down 2 more wood doors. And turning the wood doors into a campfire that burns in the center of the room so that it illuminates the most possible, and putting a shelf of I'll put the shelf here for coal. So now, we have a campfire that can be refueled with coal, heating the area a little bit and helping to reduce the heater power needs. So it's should be a net positive. So to that end, it might make sense to continue deep drilling coal and using the coal as a as a power source. Or a fuel source for a campfire. So it doesn't generate power, of course, but it does generate heat. And it makes a nice gather spot. Now, I think there's a partnered mod that I need to install to allow the coal to be used as a fuel source. I vaguely remember. I meant to have that, and I think I don't have it right now. I'm going to look it up real quick. I thought it was included in this coal mod, but I might be mistaken. Because I was using it for my last series, and thought I had it installed. I could also have it be for cooking, yeah, like, but the electric stove is on so infrequently. I don't think it's a big deal. Who's mining now? No one? Yeah, fish pick's heading up there. But why? It's like 9 p.m. Zeusin. Back on the scan. Are we desperate enough to try fibercorn? No. The reason why I'm not going to consider fibercorn, 1, we're starving. 2, fibercorn takes forever and a day to grow. It's really time inefficient. So fibercorn is a really terrible crop to ever grow in hydroponics because of its grow length. Its grow length is so rice, for instance, has a grow length of 3 days and has a soil sensitivity or fertility sensitivity 100%. So it really benefits highly for high fertility, which hydroponic basins obviously have extraordinarily high fertility. Fibercorn takes twice as much time and has a terrible fertility sensitivity. So it doesn't benefit from hydroponics almost at all. Meaning, realistically, because of the fertility, we can grow like roughly 3 batches of rice for every batch of fibercorn. And then the fibercorn itself, once harvested, a single harvest of fibercorn yields 2 wood. So we're giving up like 30 rice for 2 wood. That sounds like the worst trade I could possibly think of. If you want to starve to death, make that trade. Is I guess as blunt as I'm going to be. Because there was a lot of YouTube comments about that, but it's like, no, the math is horribly does not add up. It's just, oof. Forget it. So it's an interesting idea, but it would only ever be useful if we could grow it on soil that rice didn't like, which is not a condition that we have. The other thing about fibercorn is it does only have a light requirement of 30%. So if at some point we can have grow rooms out here that are heated, we could just have regular old light bulbs grow fibercorn out here. It's not to say that I'll never use fibercorn, because there's areas out here that have stony soil, which could be used for potatoes or fibercorn. But the math for power requirements, like, aren't there right now. Even a little bit. Yeah, it would cost more power to grow fibercorn than I would get from burning it. Exactly. Because, you know, there's also power needs for the grow light and power needs for the hydro basin. So it makes no sense. Now, if we had deep drilled wood, that would change, you know, our power needs significantly, but that has nothing to do with fibercorn. All right, there's so many people hopping on the research bench. I think I am going to take everyone else off of it because they keep knocking Zeusin off of it, which is stupid. Cheers. So the fuel... Coal is fuel. Okay. Let's use up this wood for 3 hours of battery power. And yeah, I would need a mod for the campfire refueling. So which one was I using? I was trying to find that. I'm tabbed out, just looking for it real quick. While I'm like looking for that, how about we have another vote? Speaking of starvation, here's the proposals. The stalwarts want all of their grown food to be processed into nutrient paste to reduce food demands. The pilgrims want also all social drugs, meaning tea, ambrosia, smoke leaf, and beer, to be reserved for pilgrim consumption. Stalwarts are willing to compromise that all grown food to be made into nutrient paste, but pilgrims only have the rights to beer. And pilgrims are willing to compromise all social drugs to be reserved to them, but stalwarts may consume nutrient paste, but pilgrims won't join them. And you guys can vote on that while I try to figure out this coal problem. Easier said than done whilst trying to stream. And again, I guess, remember that if you assign yourself to the Stalwarts faction, you should only ever vote for Stalwart or Stalwart Compromise, defer, or abstain. And if likewise, if you're Pilgrims, you should only vote for Pilgrim, Pilgrim Compromise, defer, or abstain. You should never vote for your non-self-assigned party for really any reason. All right, I think I can call this a little early. It looks like, although the Pilgrims were willing to compromise, that the Stalwarts are going to have the measure passed where all food is required to be nutrient paste. So let me make some changes to the ideology here. Okay, the measure has passed, and here is the consequences. The Pilgrims are now disenfranchised. They have lost a whole bunch of votes in a row, and they all suffer under the weight of those political losses. The Stalwarts, on the other hand, are now elevated. They're happier with how things are going, and also they are indifferent about eating nutrient paste. It doesn't bother them. It, of course, still bothers the Pilgrims. Now, there's a caveat here, which is, of course, I need to build the nutrient paste dispenser. And it's a rather expensive project, but one that we'll undertake in just a moment. So Building NPM is one of our next projects. Thank you for voting. So here's the issue. I was never intending for this room to be permanently words are escaping me. A recreation room. This is eventually going to be also a farm. So, although it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, I don't want to put a nutrient paste dispenser like this to dispense food adjacent to the tables. So my intention, oddly, is to have a smaller storage area for rice that is potentially unroofed within the base, hooked up to nutrient paste dispensing. Just to explain why I'm doing it this way. So I'll have a nutrient paste dispenser, something like here instead, where we can isolate it out like that, put a door there, and have shelving, make it a little bit larger maybe, but have shelving for the rice. And the nutrient paste dispenser itself acts physically like a wall, so I don't really need to insulate it. That would just be a beauty thing. So I'm going to set it up like this, so that we can dispense the food and eat it. And for now, just have a limestone door, but eventually maybe a slate door, or a steel door rather. And should it be on a switch? Yes. I'm probably going to do high batch. So I might not even put it on a switch. I might use the like high batch, for lack of a better term, exploit for it, so that I can put the meals on shelves. So I'm going to have maybe for the beauty, I'll have 3 shelves here for nutrient paste meals. And then shelves in here for the rice. And for now, because I don't have tons of steel, I don't want to add too many hoppers to this thing. So I'll do like 2 hoppers. Maybe even just 1 hopper. It also means that I do not need the electric stove. The measure passed in such a way that we don't use the stove anymore, right? So we break it down. The reason to do batched food like this is so that the nutrient paste dispenser doesn't have to be on all the time, saving us considerable power. And then all the other meals will just be stored in our general storage, rather than here. Why are you botching? Oh, because you're hypothermic. That's how cold we're getting inside the base. Is it going to affect recruiting? It sure will. People are not going to want to eat that food. But law is a law. Prisoners aren't above it, for sure. I'm actually going to get rid of that shelf. It kind of blocks. So I'll have dead power nested within the nutrient paste dispenser so that I can flick it on and off. Well, actually, I'm going to use a power switch. Just so that I'm not using any, like, you know, exploits or whatever. So in here, linked is going to be npm storage or npm raw food. Critically important that for now it's just going to be rice. Now, the way the law was written... Oh, this should be important and this should be critical. The way the law was written was very specific in that it's grown food. If you didn't notice. Which means that in the case that we have insect meat, it's not... We could cook it. Grown food has to be nutrient pasted, but not hunted meat. You don't grow meat. Well, not yet at least. I have a little bit more steel. I'm actually going to max out the hoppers just for convenience. Might be a little steel wasteful, but I'm going to do it anyway. Would insect meat harm moods? It would, unless we made fine insect meat meals. And it also means that in terms of our food policies, we don't necessarily have to stop eating packaged survival meals, but what we can do is to have the pilgrims be on packaged survival meals and nutrient paste meals on any meals, whereas the stalwarts exclusively eat nutrient paste. Because it never legalized it. Oh, we never... Oh, that's... I see. I'm not going to bother harvesting more coal until I fix the whole, like, fuelless coal. Oh! But we did just get iron. And that was a lucky find because that happened prior to, prior to the find. The caveat here is, it's probably too cold to really go about exploiting this. Right, I'm not going to get out there right now because it's negative 78 Fahrenheit out, or Celsius, negative 109 Fahrenheit, so it's not like we can start building structures out that way. In fact, Ray is dying. So I guess we flick on another, flick on some of the backup heaters. That was a good find. So I'm waiting for Cardinal. Okay, Cardinal's hungry. Good. So here's how the batched nutrient paste works. Cardinal goes for a meal. I grab it, drop it on the ground, forbid it, and then I hold R to keep drafting while I just make stacks of nutrient paste. And that is all the paste we can make. And then I just turn off the nutrient paste dispenser as it is no longer necessary to have on. And now we have a lot of meals. You know, it definitely stretches our food. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Frostwardens.